Hello everyone, welcome to my class. In this video, I will be continuing with the third chapter of class 9 civics, that is constitutional design. Now in this, we will discuss about the making of the Indian constitution. In my previous videos, I have discussed about how the South African people framed their constitution, what things they have kept in mind while writing their constitution, right? How the past of their nation reflects in their constitution, right? Now talking about the Indian constitution, many times students think that the Indian constitution was written after we gained the independence, but it was not correct, right? The importance of having constitution was realized much earlier when India was under the Britishers, right? And many initiatives were taken by the Indian leaders to frame a constitution for India. So let's talk about it, how the initiative was taken by the Indian leaders. In the year 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders, they have tried to draft a rough constitution for India, right? And in 1931, at the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress, in this session, the leaders of Indian National Congress, they decided that the Indian constitution, how the Indian constitution should look like, what should be included in that, right? Some of the important features of both these rough constitution that was framed by the early leaders, it included the universal adult franchise feature, then right to freedom and equality, rights of minority groups, etc. These were the things that they were having in their minds at that time also, right? Okay, what needs to be included in the constitution, these were some of the important um, and essential things that are required in the nation, that will going to fulfill the aspiration of the people in India, right? So both these drafts were including these points, which became some of the important points of the current constitution that we are following till this date, right? Now in the year 1937, elections were held in British India. An initiative was taken by the British government. They held the elections in India in the provinces, in different provinces, for the provincial legislature. And first time the Indians, and this provision was made in the Government of India Act 1935. Now Government of India Act 1935 was an act in which various provisions were made for some administrative reforms in British administration. We were under Britishers at that time, and British wanted to reform their administration, right? They wanted to bring certain changes in their administration, how they are ruling the Indians and the Indian provinces, what changes need to be done so that growing demand of independence, that can be the Indians can be calmed down at that time by giving some of the rights to the Indians, right? So according to this act, in 1937, elections were held in British India in different provinces, right? And the provincial legislatures were formed in different provinces, and first time the Indians got major right to be participant in the government. So they experienced first time the institutional experience, or they held the positions in the government, right? Not at the central level but at the provincial level. So this gave them a fresh experience, of a direct experience of having a post in their hands, right? How to rule, how to follow the rules, what rules need to be framed, how the government works. All these experiences they have gained through this, right? When the Indians were included in the legislative assemblies, they started learning how the system works, government system works, right? And this experience help them later on when the Indian Constitution was framed, how the ministries should work, right, in free India. Now there were certain international events also which inspired Indians, right, like the French Revolution and the Socialist Russian Revolution. No doubt French Revolution, which gave some of the important ideas like freedom, liberty, equality, justice, fraternity. These ideas inspired the people across the world. So Indians also inspired by these ideas. They have this thing in their mind that if they'll prepare a constitution for themselves, then these ideas, these inspiring ideas, will be a part of Indian constitution, right? And which these ideas will going to become the base of our democracy. Russian Revolution inspired people across the world, how the public, how the people of a nation, and how the army of a nation can frame the future of the nation, right? Can end the monarchical rule, right? And how the socialist idea can be followed, where every person in the society will be treated equally, will going to have a share in the government, in the economy, right? So such socialist ideas also inspired the Indians, and that is why when we'll talk about the preamble of the Indian Constitution, we'll talk about these ideas in detail, right? Now talking about the Constituent Assembly, the framing started with the formation of the Constituent Assembly. It was formed on the basis of the election of its member. Firstly, election, when it was decided that Britishers will going to give freedom to India after the Second World War. Then the question raises, then one question raised that how the Indians will going to rule the nation, how they will form the government. And then it was decided, since the Indian, it was their demand to have a constitution earlier also. So the Indians, they formed an organization, an assembly. It was called the Constituent Assembly, and its members were elected. Elections of its member was not on the basis of universal adult franchise, means the common people were not voting for them, but the representatives of the common people, the members of the provincial legislative assemblies who were elected by the Indian people, they elected the members of the Constituent Assembly. Right, so its members were indirectly elected by the members of the constituent, elected by the provincial members of the provincial assemblies. Right, so Constituent Assembly was formed in July 1946, and its first meeting was held in December 1946. There were total 299 members in it. Right, and every region of India was included in it, right? So the members who were there in the Constituent Assembly, they were actually representing every geographical region of India, since they were elected by the representatives of the people, right? Now the Constituent Assembly got divided into two sections. The Constituent Assembly's head was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and a separate committee was made, drafting committee. This drafting committee was headed by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Now the purpose of the drafting committee was to write down the laws in the legal terms. Right, so whatever the discussions and the debates were going on in the Constituent Assembly, by its members, whatever its conclusion came, that was written by the drafting committee in the legal terms, and they were the ones who actually formed the laws. They were writing down these laws in the legal terms, right? So this is how the Constituent Assembly worked. Leaders, some of the important leaders who were the members of the Constituent Assembly, like Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Bhimrao Ambedkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, and then Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, then Durga Bhai Deshmukh. So these are some of the leaders, Sarojini Naidu. There were many more, right? 299 members were there. So these leading personalities, these members, they had long debates among them on various issues, and whatever the conclusion came of these debates and discussions, that were very helpful in framing the laws. On the basis of that, they have discussed every issue, its pros and cons, and then conclusion came, and then they have written the laws on it. So this is how it took around the working of the Constituent Assembly. It took around 3 years to complete the framing of the laws in the Constitution. So such long debates and discussions were taken place in these long years, and then they have finally framed the Constitution. So this is how the Constitution of India was framed. In the upcoming videos, I will be discussing about some of the important features of the Indian preamble, right? And the features of Indian preamble is very, very, very important from exam point of view. So must watch the upcoming video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and review, and subscribe this channel. Thank you.